Ladies and gentlemen, greetings and welcome to yet another edition of our English newscast on Info Television. Our top stories. Following a reassuring security evaluation meeting on Monday, 22 September in Betwa in the East Region, Minister Paul Atanganji of Territorial Administration has placed regional authorities on high alert and warning that any attempts to disrupt the upcoming presidential elections will be met with the heavy arm of the law. And the Cameroon Real Estate Corporation, SIC, under the leadership of the Director General Dr. Amadou Sardaouna, has inaugurated the Mfundi Residence, a modern building with 152 high-standard apartments and commercial spaces, this September 23, 2025. Details right ahead. Welcome back, and as you heard in one of our lead stories, following a reassuring evaluation meeting on September 22, 2025 in Betwa, the Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanganji, placed regional authorities on high alert that any attempts to disrupt the October 12 presidential elections will be met with the heavy arm of the law. Jude Kenji has the details.
Though the security situation in the East region is under control, according to reports presented to the Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanganji, by the Governor of the East region, Gregoire Mvongo, this 22nd of September 2025, during a security evaluation meeting on the esteemed instructions of the head of state, Paul Biya, ahead of the October 12 presidential election. The minister insisted that administrative authorities must be extremely vigilant before, during, and after the October 12 presidential election.
At the esteemed instructions of President Paul Biya, we are here together to make a thorough evaluation of the political situation, the security situation, and the electoral process, which is ongoing. As we all know, the presidential elections will take place on the 12th of October 2025. And all the candidates are already on the field trying to sell their programs. It's important to recall the importance of this election and that all the candidates have the moral responsibility to portray a good image of our country. President Paul Biya has instructed me to tell all administrative authorities to do everything possible so that peace, calm, and serenity should reign before, during, and after the presidential elections of 2025.
It was a moment to remind the actors involved in this election of what is at stake while avoiding all forms of intimidation.
It is important for all the actors to know what is at stake. We have to preserve national unity. We have to avoid hate speech. We have to avoid all forms of intimidation. We have to present our political programs to Cameroonians so they can judge and choose what is good for them and what will defend their interest.
Minister Paul Atanganji of Territorial Administration reiterated the prescription of President Paul Biya, which is that of living together and social cohesion.
And President Paul Biya has been working all through his life to reinforce national unity and to reinforce peaceful coexistence between all the components of the state. Those are big achievements of the state that we must all preserve. That is why he has instructed, as head of state and commander-in-chief of the armed forces, that we should do everything so that the process should go on smoothly. The elections must take place hitch-free.
While saluting the patriotic spirit of some presidential candidates, the minister said those who will want to take this period as a pretext to bring about chaos and disorder will face the heavy arm of the law.
I know that we have candidates who are patriotic Cameroonians and who have the intention to sell their programs so that many more Cameroonians can come on board and support what they are trying to do. But others want to take this presidential election as a pretext to preach chaos, hate speech, tribalism, and to defy state authority. I want to make it clear that we will not tolerate any form of disorder before, during, and after the presidential elections. Cameroon is a state of law, and all those who participate in this presidential election must abide by the rules and regulations.
If for one reason or the other, any candidate is not happy with the process, there is a legal framework to handle their worries.
If for one reason or the other, a candidate is not happy with the process, we have a legal framework where you can address your challenges and your worries. So it's an obligation for all political actors, especially those who are taking part in the elections, to abide by the rules and regulations.
In the course of the meeting, the media was cautioned about the important role they have to play during this electoral period.
And to the media men, I know you'll play an important role of coverage during these elections. I urge you to be responsible. It's important to be responsible, because if you don't give us good information or you give tilted information, you are not helping the process. And I want us to be partners. I don't want you to be a customer of the administration. Only those who want to defy state authority will be our customers, and will handle them properly.
The meeting was also a moment for the minister to salute the efforts Elecam is making to distribute the good code of conduct to all actors involved for a free, fair and transparent election. It should be noted that the security evaluation meeting in Betua falls within a nationwide tour to all 10 regional headquarters before the 12 October presidential election.
The Unbarred Person and Mediation Initiative Association, led by Robert Roger Ngangue, has organized a press conference with NGOs to officially launch the National Campaign for Peace and Non-Violence ahead of the 2025 presidential election. Held under the theme Give Peace a Chance, the campaign kicked off today in Yaoundé and will run until November 22. Jessica Ndiwum has the details.
The official launch of the National Campaign for Peace and Non-Violence ahead of Cameroon's 2025 presidential elections took place today, September 23rd, in Yaoundé, and will run until November 22nd, 2025. The campaign, held under the theme Give Peace a Chance, aims to present to the media, the general public and institutional partners the challenges, timeliness and relevance of promoting peace in the upcoming electoral process. Its main objective is to prevent election-related violence by sensitizing stakeholders and the wider population on the values of peace, non-violence and dialogue as essential tools to resolve disputes and reduce tensions.
To sensitize all Cameroonians, all citizenship, to behave in a certain ways that, push away and reject any violence during the election, in order to prevent our country from falling into serious violence, and make sure that we build blocks and we have a large amount of Cameroonians who are really rejecting that violence, and, to have our election be fair and, appeased.
This campaign is designed on a conflict prevention strategy centered on the principle of non-violence, which rejects the use of physical force, verbal aggression, intimidation, and any form of coercion to resolve conflicts. It is based on the principle that lasting social and political change is achieved through peaceful means, including dialogue, negotiation, and tolerance. Give Peace a Chance, as the theme says, aims to mobilize a critical mass of Cameroonians around the rejection of violence and the praise of the peaceful management of disputes.
We plan a number of activities which include census, surveys, disseminating messages in social medias. We have peace diplomacy, shuttle diplomacy with some of the political leaders. So a set of around 12 activities in the pipeline to make sure that we reach out the millions of Cameroonians in order to build blocks and, have a barrier from the expected violence.
He further stressed that the message should be on the lips of every Cameroonian, serving as a tool of communication to stand against violence.
2025 elections, no be war. 2025 elections without violence. 2025 election through dialogue. So our resentment, our conflict, let's not opt for violence as a last resort, but let's use dialogue. We have still the opportunity to talk to each other, and then let's not wait for war, because war is a catastrophe for our country.
The press conference concluded with a question and answer session focused on how best to understand and sensitize the public. Emphasis was placed on the vital role of the media in raising awareness and on its involvement in amplifying the citizens' initiative to strengthen its impact on the population.
And onto this, the newly installed Senior Divisional Officer of Mefo and Akono, Adeline Claude Sobmote, made her official outing this September 23, 2025 at Mvokfudambala, precisely at the Nomayos Chiefdom. She made contact tour with the people of the locality whom she will be working with. Let's now listen to her excerpt interviewed by Mimi Tiobo.
Ladies and gentlemen, speaking to you who have come to settle temporarily or permanently in this subdivision, you must show yourself worthy of the hospitality of people from this locality who thus open their arms to you. The President of the Republic, who has constantly advocated the policy of living together and social inclusion, was right. This is why we have to remain confident to him for every Cameroonian to feel at home throughout the national territory. To this, while feeling at home everywhere, we must keep respecting each other. We need to integrate the customs and traditions of each other as value of identity and determination.
The Cameroon Real Estate Corporation, under the leadership of its Director General Dr. Amadou Sardaouna, has inaugurated the Mfundi Residence, a modern building with 152 high-standing apartments and commercial spaces. Located at the Hippodrome neighborhood in Yaoundé, this project offers luxurious living spaces. As you tell us in this report, Agnes Ayuk.
In order to meet the growing demand for housing in Cameroon, the Cameroon Real Estate Corporation, SIC, under its Director General Dr. Amadou Sardaouna, has put up an outstanding 11-story building consisting of a basement and 10 floors above ground located at Hippodrome in Yaoundé. This modern structure offers luxurious living spaces with comfort, style, and beauty, a project realized with the help of both international and national partners. Today, we are here to present our products and others produced by us in construction and those that are on the pipeline. However, SIC produces rents in all possible aspects, even economically. We have taken action with international and national partners as well. And today, you see this building. It is thanks to the assistance from Union Bank. The building, known as Mfundi Residence, was inaugurated on September 23, 2025 and consists of 152 high-standing apartments and commercial spaces with 134 parking spaces. This building is an architectural gem that was built by SIC, and it is made up of 152 apartments. These apartments have a living space of 30 square meters to 445 square meters. You will find in this building T1 type apartments, which consist of modern rooms, studios, T3 type apartments of 2 rooms, 2-4 types apartments of 3 rooms, and T5 type apartments of 5 rooms. This building has 4 elevators, a water tank to serve as a reserve when there is no water. With its luxurious amenities and modern design, this project is set to redefine the city's skyline and provide residents with a unique living experience. The selling price ranges from 30 million francs to 422 million francs CFA. We have always presented 3 axes. The first axis is on the institutional level, how to make real estate promotion taken into account, and that is where we develop our economic model that will allow SIG to be proposed not only with the state, private partners, but also the subcontractors who also help us in the construction. As you have seen, SIG is a key asset in the development of real estate in Cameroon, as everywhere else in the big countries, such as Morocco, Tunisia, Senegal, Nigeria. We intend to focus all this so that our achievements are made. Today, we are a well-off society in the state. The Cameroonian Real Estate Company was founded in 1952. Today, 73 years later, it has a status that was reorganized in 2020, one of which is to build high and medium standing houses for its own use and to be marketed to third parties. It should be noted that the inauguration ceremony was in the presence of government officials and dignitaries.
Away from that, let's talk health, as the Minister of Public Health, Manauda Malashi, has called on individuals to receive comprehensive health treatment against HIV/AIDS and prevention. He made the call in Yaoundé this September 23, 2025, while presiding over the Holiday Without HIV and AIDS campaign in Yaoundé at the National Coordination Center in the Public Health Emergency Operation. Details in this report.
On September 23, 2025, during the Holiday Without HIV and AIDS campaign held in Yaoundé, the Minister of Public Health, Dr. Manauda Malashi, emphasized the critical importance of comprehensive health care, particularly concerning HIV and AIDS testing, treatment, and prevention.
The trained peer educators have been equipped and encouraged to share the lessons learned with their peers in order to reach a large number of pupils and students throughout the country. They are invited to create and run health clubs in their respective schools.
In his address, Dr. Manauda Malashi urged individuals to take proactive steps towards their health by participating in HIV testing. He highlighted that early detection and proper treatment can significantly improve the quality of life for those living with HIV. Furthermore, he underscored the role of prevention strategies in reducing the transmission of the virus, noting that education and awareness are vital components of combating the epidemic.
This is an opportunity for me to make a passionate appeal for parents to take responsibility in all areas, to end a sustained fight against deviant behavior, moral depravity, and the use of drugs, alcohol, and other narcotics that could expose their children to HIV infection and STDs.
The campaign serves as a platform to promote the availability of resources and support for those affected by HIV and AIDS, reinforcing the government's commitment to public health. Dr. Manauda Malashi's call to action aims not only to encourage testing, but also to eliminate stigma surrounding the disease, ensuring that everyone has access to the care they need. Through collaborative efforts, the ministry seeks to foster a healthier community and ultimately reduce the impact of HIV and AIDS in the country.
18-month-old baby Sophia, abducted a few days ago by her nanny, has been found and her kidnappers presented to the press. They were presented this September 23, 2025, and the abduction facts were reconstituted thanks to the efforts of the territorial group of the National Gendarmerie in Yaoundé. Let's watch.
Adeline Nanga, a 20-year-old nanny, is presumed to have abducted baby Sophia. The child's images started circulating on social media after her kidnapping on September 20, prompting agents of the territorial group of the National Gendarmerie to begin a search operation.
Ce jour-là, je suis sortie.
On that day, I went out as usual because I always leave my daughter at home. I consider the girl a daughter to me. I do not consider her a nanny. So I told Ashley, that's my daughter's keeper, that I'm going out and I will be back. Now at about 10:45 p.m. when I got back home, I did not see her or the baby. I searched the whole house, but no traces of them, and even their clothes were gone. The accused claimed she planned to be with her boyfriend and intended to return the baby to her mother.
Je voulais quitter de la maison ce jour-là, bon, je n'avais.
I wanted to leave the house that day, but I did not have the intention of stealing the baby. I was the person looking after the baby, so when I wanted to go away, there was no other place to keep her since her parents were not around. So I had to go with her to my boyfriend's house, and also I had the intentions of taking her back to her mother on Sunday, but I did not have enough money in my hands. That is why I stayed with her till Monday when they started the search. Facts reconstitution followed to understand how it transpired. With investigations carried out, a call for vigilance on child trafficking is made.
We brought them here in our unit for further investigations. I would like just to emphasize that, with these children or child trafficking connections, we are networks. We are going deeper in the investigation in order to specify and to clarify the real motivations of the abductors.
Further investigations will follow and a court case will be filed. The Prime Minister, Head of Government Chief Dr. Joseph Dion Gute proceeded with his working visit to Kribi Lobe Iron Ore Deposit alongside the Sinotil Cam SR responsible for mineral exploitation to lay the foundation stone on the construction site on September 22, 2025. The site will boost the country's GDP while creating jobs. Phillips Enchi has the details.
The Kribi Lobe Iron Ore Deposit, with Sinosteel Cam SA responsible for its exploitation, stands as one of the country's giant steps towards economic growth. The value of the deposit, based on current market prices, is estimated at $36 billion, with an annual production rate of 8 million tons of iron concentrate with a 45 years mined lifespan. The state is expected to benefit from about 10% of the company's turnover, in addition to a 10% share of dividends through its free participation in the company's capital. The Prime Minister, Head of Government Chief Dr. Joseph Dion Gute, representative of the Head of State President Paul Biya, during the laying of the foundation stone, reiterate the importance of the infrastructure aiming at reviving the country's economy while bringing to limelight President Paul Biya's 2020-2030 National Development Strategy gearing towards industrialization.
J'invite donc les élus locaux ainsi que les forces vives des arrondissements de Kribi 1er et de Campo à accompagner pleinement ce projet aux retombées significatives pour leur communauté et pour le Cameroun dans son ensemble. Notre objectif commun est de rendre l'exploitation de ce gisement bénéfique pour nos populations, tout en plaçant notre pays parmi les plus grands producteurs de fer en Afrique. Cette dynamique, le terminal minéralier jouera un rôle déterminant. C'est pourquoi les modalités de fonctionnement de cette infrastructure doivent être précisées et formalisées dans une convention de concession entre le port autonome de Kribi et la société Sinosteel.
The mineral terminal, to be constructed by Sinosteel Cam SA, will initially handle the evacuation of 40 million tons of iron concentrate. All related charges will be managed by the state institution in line with the concession agreement signed between the company and the Port Authority of Kribi. The outcome of this project will be satisfactory.
Construire un terminal minéralier, c'est bâtir un pont entre nos ressources et les marchés mondiaux. Mais c'est aussi construire un avenir meilleur pour nos enfants, un avenir où le Cameroun tirera pleinement profit de ses richesses. Nous partirons d'ici un jour fiers des développements dont nous sommes témoins et qui contribuent incontestablement à positionner le Cameroun dans une courbe sans cesse ascendante de développement socio-économique. Dans ce sillage, nous ne devons pas perdre de vue une réalité. Permettez-moi de m'appesantir sur cet aspect spécifique. Mesdames et messieurs,
a project worthy of appreciation.
The solidity of the Sino-Cameroonian cooperation, the technical expertise, financial investment and strategic vision are invaluable assets that have made it possible to turn an ambition into reality. We salute the quality of this partnership, which is based on mutual respect, equity, and the common goal of creating wealth and sustainable opportunities for our population.
After a maturity period, the project will go a long way to provide thousands of jobs while improving on the living conditions of Cameroonians. In the long term, this modular terminal is projected to expand its capacity in the future, evacuating 47.5 million tons of ore, generating revenues for the public treasury under a joint management agreement with the Kribi Port Authority. The visit proceeds to the mining site, inspecting the work done so far while having a glow on the entire project. The ceremony proceeds with the laying of the foundation stone. Present during the ceremony are members of government, administrative, local and traditional authorities. All that begins well ends well as the head of government proceeds to the Adamawa region for same exercise.
And still in the same light, on a working visit to the Ocean Division of the South region on September 22, the Prime Minister, Head of Government Chief Dr. Joseph Dion Gute, representing the Head of State, inaugurated the Bipindi Grand Zambi iron ore operated by G-Stone Resources SA. The event united the sons and daughters of the division as the project is expected to create thousands of jobs for Cameroonians. Let's watch.
As Cameroonians multiply efforts in maintaining economic growth and boosting its domestic product, the Prime Minister, Head of Government Chief Dr. Joseph Dion Gute, representative of the Head of State President Paul Biya, during an official ceremony inaugurates the Bipindi Grand Zambi iron ore deposit in the Ocean Division, South region on September 22, 2025, accompanied by the Interim Minister of Mines, Industry and Technological Development, Professor Fu Calistus Gentry. With the government of Cameroon promoting local mining industries, G-Stone Resources SA, a 100% Cameroonian mining company, after signing a 14-year investment agreement on November 13, 2019, finally obtained a mining permit in 2022. The deposit is valued at $33.3 billion based on current market evaluation, with an annual production of 6 million tons of iron concentrate planned for the project startup phase. The mine is expected to have a lifespan of 56 years. The state is set to benefit from approximately 10% of the turnover alongside regular taxes once the investment is matured, as well as 10% in dividends from its free share.
Dans la perspective de l'accomplissement des objectifs de la vision 2035,
to achieve the 2035 emergence plan, which aims to develop Cameroon while promoting democracy and unity in diversity, the government has undertaken the implementation of the 2020-2030 National Development Strategy. This strategy seeks the structural transformation of the country's natural resources to drive industrialization.
Productif national pour stimuler durablement l'industrialisation.
The project, considered a milestone in the country's economy, surpassing the exploitation of crude oil, will go a long way to promote import substitution.
Il est question également de donner l'impulsion à la politique d'import-substitution.
It is also the government's objective to reinforce its import substitution policy as outlined by the President of the Republic, President Paul Biya, in order to meet local demand and boost production. In this context, the state of Cameroon has signed a mining agreement with G-Stones Resources SA.
The mayor of Bipindi could not hide his satisfaction.
On behalf of the people of Bipindi, I express their profound gratitude to the head of state, President Paul Biya, for his visionary efforts to industrialize and decentralize Cameroon.
A project which aims at transforming the country's economy, the promoter of G-Stones Resources SA appreciates President Paul Biya for making the project a reality.
I respectfully urge Your Excellency, the Prime Minister and Head of Government, to convey our gratitude to the Head of State, President Paul Biya, who has supported us in bringing this project to reality and has continually sent us messages of encouragement.
The exploitation is projected to create 50,000 jobs, including 1,000 direct and 4,000 indirect jobs. G-Stones Resources SA aims at establishing 2 steel complexes in Fifinda and within the industrial port zone. The facilities will be designed to process iron concentrate into iron billet, which will serve as raw materials for steel infrastructures, while positioning Cameroon as the first country within the sub-region to possess a complete on-site iron ore deposit. A ceremony attended by members of government, administrative and local authorities proved successful. The working visit proceeded to the Kribi Lobe Sino Steel Cam SA iron ore deposit for the laying of the foundation stone on the site.
And that information takes us to the end of tonight's edition. Thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching and staying in the company of our programs as Claudian Tar comes up at 8 p.m. for the news in the French language. Have a good evening.